Hey everybody, happy Wednesday and welcome to the Real Estate Connection. Isn't that San Francisco skyline beautiful? That's a sunrise shot. I'll tell you what, we live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Absolutely fantastic. Come on in, we're going to get started.
Time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Theard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you. Our house in the middle of our street. From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for the Real Estate Connection, Stephen Theard.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's broadcast. Woo! Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, that sound is my speaker being turned off. Got a nice little Bluetooth speaker that my lovely bride gave to me that I use on the show all the time. So I thought, you know what? What the heck? I'll use it. Anyway, thank you for joining me today on a lovely Wednesday, the day after the presidential debates. Woo! That was a wild one. Let me just tell you, that was wild. Could you believe what went down last night? Absolutely, uh, 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 just, I don't know. Ooh, I got an echo going on here. All right, so just checking my video feed. Sorry about that. So anyway, absolutely amazing to watch two people battle it out on the national and world stage. And no matter what side of the aisle you're on, it was definitely entertaining. But I am way off topic as the subject of the broadcast is the Real Estate Connection, where we talk about all things real estate. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today as I'm broadcasting live. That's right, broadcasting live on the internet, YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. Hey, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. If you're on Periscope, share out with all your friends. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like and share button. I really do appreciate you guys joining me today. So without any further ado, we're going to get started on today's show. As I'm recording live, you guys get a witness what it's like to create a radio broadcast as I broadcast live and share at the same time information for you along with my radio audience. So I thank you again for joining me. You guys are absolutely fantastic and I appreciate it. And with that being said, we're going to jump into this recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Real Estate Connection. Thank you for joining me, Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, for another episode of the Real Estate Connection where we talk about all things real estate. So without any further delay, let's just jump right on in. All right, the real estate market is expected to be strong through the end of the year. All right, so you, knowing this information, have decided to list your house for sale. You see that interest rates remain low. You see sales prices going up and demand from buyers remaining very strong. You are done decluttering and the house is starting to look good. So what is the next step? All right, for you smart and savvy home sellers, the next step will be to order home inspections. In the first segment, you will gain insight on the inspection process and how you can use it to put yourself in the negotiating driver's seat. Now, if you're new to the Real Estate Connection and you're saying, wow, this is some really good content, I'm going to go grab a pen and some paper to take notes, and I wonder what I've missed in the past, here's a time for you to catch up. Send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and email address, and I would be happy to send you a link to my podcast where you can find me on Apple Podcasts or Podbean, or even better yet, I will add you to the podcast distribution list so you will receive notifications and never have to miss any additional or past content. Now, we need to give credit where credit is due in regards to the topic or the information or the content for today's radio program. This goes to the credit goes to an article from houselogic.com and myself, your radio realtor, as well as I have added my insights to some of the information that I gleaned off of an article that I pulled out of houselogic.com. So thank you very much, houselogic.com. I appreciate your contribution to the show. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so let's get started. Most or all home sales or purchases are going to involve inspections. No one is going to make one of the largest purchases in their lives without taking a closer look. The proverbial kicking the tires process, right? We won't even buy a $35,000 vehicle without going to look at it, whether it's brand new or used. If it's used, we're definitely maybe going to ask for the seller to take it down to AAA and have a diagnostic check, or maybe go to a local mechanic to have it looked at. But when you're thinking about buying something that you're going to live in and that you're going to shelter your family in, that in the Bay Area on average starts at $500,000 or higher, you're going to inspect it before you put down a 30-year commitment on it. So why not use this inevitability to your advantage as a seller? You know the saying, an attorney never asks a question in court that he or she doesn't already know the answer to. So goes the home seller who is prepared by ordering inspections for their home prior to listing it for sale on the open market. All right, so why put your home on the market without knowing the inspection results before the buyer? This is a question that you really have to ask yourself. So if I'm going to try to squeeze out $600,000 or maybe $500,000 in equity, wouldn't you want to know what the issues are in relation to this sales contract before the buyer does, right? Doesn't that give you the upper hand, especially in the negotiation process? This is exactly what I'm talking about in today's show. All right, so if any of this is having a light bulb go off in your head and you would like to talk about your particular situation in more detail, give me a call right now at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Let's get on the phone and talk about the details regarding your particular home sale and the best strategy to put in place to get all, and I mean all, of the equity you can out of the sales process. Again, call Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, at 408-472-0817. Now, as it pertains to home inspections, what will the inspector look at in a pre-listing home inspection? So, what systems in your house are covered during this process? So, they are going to be the following: plumbing systems, electrical systems, kitchen appliances, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning equipment, or as we call it in the business, HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. doors and windows, of course, and not to be say the least, attic insulation, foundation and the basement. So they're going to look at your foundation and they're going to look at your basement if you have one. Now don't laugh, because there are some homes in the Bay Area in Northern California that have basements. I have an investor that I'm working with right now, and he is looking in the city of Oakland for a house to rehab. And don't you know it, they have basements in some of these older homes, especially in the downtown areas of some of the older cities in the Northern California Bay Area. Okay, there also will look at your exterior. That includes siding, paint, outdoor light fixtures, the grounds around your property, and the roof. So those are the systems that an inspector will look at during a pre-listing house inspection. And I almost forgot. So, oh, good thing. Come on, Stephen. Remember, pull this up, the roof. You know what they used to say, the roof is on fire. But anyway, I digress. They will look at the roof as well. So I didn't want to forget that particular system as a part of the overall home inspection process. Now, if you have a wood burning fireplace, generally speaking, the home inspector that is going to be doing these inspections will look at your fireplace as well. However, if you want a more detailed look, there are chimney inspectors that you can hire to come out and get the job done. Now, if you're just joining me on the show and you're wondering what we're talking about, we are going through what a pre-listing inspection entails as far as systems are concerned, and how it puts you, the seller, in the driver's seat in negotiating and knowing what's going on with your property before buyers do. If you've missed any part of today's show and you'd like to catch up, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's INFO at realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and email address. I'd be happy to send you a link to my podcast, which you can find on Apple Podcasts or Podbean. Again, The Real Estate Connection on Apple Podcasts or Podbean. Now we're coming up onto a hard break. When we get back from paying some bills, we're going to dig into the details that will be examined in each one of these systems in a pre-listing inspection. All right, so stay with me and I'll see you on the other side of the break. Okay, now we are getting ready to tee this up for the next segment of the Real Estate Connection. Thank you guys again for joining me on today's show. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you get notifications when we go live once a week, noon Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast, 3 o'clock Eastern. And if you're on Periscope, hit that the hearts, the share to social media. Your hearts are welcome. And on Facebook, hit that thumbs up or the like button and share and share and share. And if you want to start a watch party, go for it. The more, the merrier. And oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. If you have friends or family that are getting ready to enter into the real estate market or want to cash out on some equity and make a change in their living situation, you can give them my contact information, which is 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Okay, with that being said, we're going to dive right in to the next segment in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and here's a great big round of applause. I really do appreciate you showing up. We're talking about real estate, all things real estate on the Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. And in today's show, we're discussing pre-listing home inspections and how you can leverage them to put you into the negotiating driver's seat. When you're getting ready to list a house for sale, which might be your biggest asset that you own, don't you want to know what the issues are relating to the property before buyers do? And this is what a pre-listing home inspection will do for you. Now, before the break, we were going through all of the systems that will be inspected during this process. And now we're going to go through the details of what a home inspector will look at in each one of these systems. So for the plumbing system, I think it's obvious that they're going to look for leaks. So they're going to turn on the faucets in the shower and the tub and around the house, and also open up cabinetry underneath your kitchen sinks and underneath your bathroom sinks to look for active leaks. But they will also look for evidence of past leaks and wood damage. Now, what I didn't mention before we went to the break is, besides the home inspection for the general home, the roof, and potentially the chimney, you should also order an inspection for wood destroying pests, aka termites. Now, when a termite inspector goes through your property, they're also going to look for evidence of water damage or past leaks for a different reason. The reason a wood destroying pest inspector is going to examine your home for evidence of past leaks is that when water gets into contact with wood, it has a tendency to deteriorate it. And termites love eating soft wood. Anything that has been deteriorated down to the point where you can put your finger through it or cause an easy indentation is an area where termites will gravitate towards and start to consume. Now, in areas of your home where the wood is in great shape and it has a nice hard surface to it, termites will not damage those areas. And in case you did not know, Northern California, in the soil everywhere, just in our living environment, has termites. You just cannot get away from it. I like to let my buyers know when they're purchasing a home, especially first-time home buyers, the day that you do the tenting to eradicate all the termites in the house is the day they start coming back. Now, they're not going to come back, overnight, but it's a temporary fix. You can never fully eradicate all the termites from your home 100%. So my advice to you, if you own a home, is to do a termite inspection, say every 5 to 10 years, just to see how much they've come back and whether or not it makes sense to do any mitigation work to protect your home, where you may have some damage to wood areas of your home due to water infiltration. Okay, so I know I got off topic, but that's an important point that I felt that I needed to share with you, because wood destroying pests aren't just eating all the wood in your house. They're eating wood that's been damaged by water, and evidence of leaks is a good place to start for all inspectors. And you can also do it for yourself. You can take a look. So in the plumbing systems, they're going to look at the faucets, the showers, the tubs, and also the toilets. They're going to look to see whether or not there's issues in all of those places. Now, moving on to the electrical system, they will go around your house and check the outlets, and in areas where there's water present, they're going to check for GFI outlets, basically outlets that have a tripping mechanism so that it will stop shorts from happening throughout the electrical system. Now, I am not an electrician. I know just enough to be dangerous, but based on my experience as a realtor and dealing with home inspections in the past, I do know that it is important to have these GFI outlets in areas where there's water present or water systems within your property. They also are going to check for outlet covers to make sure they're in place and not broken. They will do a check for incorrect wiring as they crawl in either the attic spaces or underneath your house. And if you're in an older historic home, they will be looking for old electrical that is knob and tube that is outdated and may need to be improved. Now, if you are thinking about selling your house and you feel like you're drinking through a fire hose right now with all of this information, and you'd like a more detailed discussion about your particular situation, call me right now at 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. I'd love to sit down and discuss what's going on with your particular or your specific situation in regards to your home sale so that I can help you put a plan in place to get the most equity out of your home in this market. And the market has a great deal of velocity in it right now, especially out in the neighborhoods. People are moving out of the city centers for various reasons, and they're looking for more space. So we're seeing it out here in the neighborhoods, multiple offers, houses having multiple appointments due to COVID-19 because we cannot do home open houses anymore. We're having to set appointments in half-hour increments, and houses are being bid over asking, especially away from the city center. So if you're in that situation, you're looking to cash in and make a move, give me a call today. Again, 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. Now, what other systems will a home inspector look at in your pre-listing inspection? Appliances. They're going to go into the kitchen. They're going to look at your oven, your microwave, garbage disposal, and dishwasher. They're going to flip the switches. If you have a gas stove, they're going to make sure all the burners are working. They're going to turn the oven on to make sure it heats up. They may turn on the microwave and run the dishwasher and the garbage disposal just to make sure there's no issues in those systems. And if there are, they will put it in the report. Additionally, other systems, as far as HVAC are concerned, they will absolutely run your heater and turn it on and make sure that the switches are working properly and that the heating system does come on and forces out air in the heat. Depending on what type of heating system you have in your house, whether it's baseboard heating, wall heating, radiant heating, or central forced air, they will test these systems to see if they're functioning properly. They will also run your air conditioning system if you have one and it's not too cold outside because it damages your air conditioner if it's not at a certain temperature when you turn it on. So for those of you who may be testing your own systems, just do an internet search and see where it's safe to run your air conditioning at certain temperatures. You don't want to run it if it's too cold outside. It will damage your system. Also, they will provide what they feel is the remaining life in these HVAC systems, whether it's heating or cooling. Additionally, they will check the vents to make sure there's no blockages. So they'll walk around the house once the air conditioning or the heating is on, and they'll put up a tester to measure the temperature that's coming out of the vents to make sure that the air is being pushed out of the vents properly to let you know if there's any issues with the HVAC system. Okay, for doors and windows, they're going to check for fire safety, especially on the garage door leading into the house. So if you have an attached garage and you're coming into the house from the garage, they're going to make sure that the automatic closing mechanism is functioning properly as a fire safety issue when they're doing a home inspection. They're going to also look for broken glass in your windows. And if you have double pane windows, they'll be looking for broken seals. They'll be looking for leaks around the windows and any missing door hardware. Now, as it relates to attics, they will be checking insulation as well. Now, if you're just joining me for the show and you're wondering why is this guy running through this laundry list of information for home inspectors, the subject of the show is putting yourself in the driver's seat by having a pre-listing inspection done when you're putting your house on the market. So if you've missed any of today's content, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and your email address, and I will send you a link to my podcast on Apple Podcasts or Podbean and add you to my podcast distribution list. And if you're thinking about selling your home and you're wondering about what's the best way to go about it during COVID 19 and you want a professional to walk you through, call me right now at 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. And with that, we'll see you on the other side of the break. Okay, folks, that's segment 2. We're going to jump into segment 3 and roll through this thing some more. Thank you for joining me live today and sticking with me. You guys are what inspire me to keep on rolling, and I appreciate you. Okay, with that being said, we're going to jump right back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Now, have you ever wondered if what's the best way to put yourself in the sales negotiating driver's seat? One of the best ways to get that done is to have your home inspected before it goes on the market. And on today's show, we're talking about how this works and why it puts you into the negotiating driver's seat. Now, we've been going through what a home inspector will inspect in detail in the various systems of your home. And we were rolling through the attic before we left for the break. Now, in an attic, a home inspector will go through the attic and check for insulation, whether you have a walk-up attic where you can stand up in it or just a crawl space to check to see how the insulation is in the home, and if there's storage or issues with electrical while they're up there as well. Additionally, a home inspector will check your foundation and your basement. And for older homes in the Bay Area, there definitely can be a walk-in basement, which is easier for you to check on your foundation issues as well. They're going to check for foundation cracks, check for water underneath the house, standing water to see if there's drainage issues, and they're also going to check for evidence of wood destroying pests or termites. They will check for water damage to wood support beams underneath the house, and to see if there are any missing pillars or pillars that have come off of their foundational supports underneath the house, and give you a report on that as well. On the exterior of the home, a home inspector is going to check for cracked paint. They're going to check for damaged siding, check for cracks in the stucco, big cracks, because generally speaking, you might have a few hairline cracks in your stucco that aren't too big of an issue, but for giant cracks or big cracks where you're going to have water infiltration into your home, that's a big deal. They're also going to check for wood destroying pest issues around the eaves of your house, and any wood decorations on the exterior of your home. They use a ski pole. I've seen this happen. Trust me. Look, believe me. I know it sounds crazy, but they use a ski pole to poke at the wood on the exterior of your home. And if the wood is solid, it will just kind of knock on it like you're knocking on a solid wooden door. But if there is any dry rot that's hidden underneath paint, that ski pole tip, the steel tip, will poke right through it, whether it's siding or damaged wood, and that gives the termite inspector or the home inspector an indication that you have some wood rot that could lead to potential termites or have termites in it, so that they can let you know what's going on. So that's very interesting to watch in case you've ever want to see what a termite inspector does. Okay, also, they're going to look at electrical outlets on the exterior of your home. A lot of people will have them installed in their rear yard in the patio area, where they can use it to plug in yard equipment or lighting or appliances for backyard barbecues and things of that nature. They're going to make sure that they're safe and covered from water intrusion and the elements. And they're also going to check for plants that are too close to the edge of the house, which can cause problems at your property as well. They'll do a general review of the grounds of your house for safety issues and trip hazards, especially for patios and driveways. And then they will also inspect your roof for damaged and missing shingles, and areas of potential leaking, and they will also give an indication to you as to the remaining life of the roof. So if all of this seems daunting and overwhelming to you, I completely understand. A real estate transaction is one of the most stressful things any one of us can ever do in our life. And if you're not used to doing it, and maybe once, twice, three times in a lifetime, it can appear to be daunting. And that's why you need somebody to guide you along the way. If you would like for that to be me, or you have questions about your specific situation regarding your home sale before you get it on the market and want to talk about it, call me today, Stephen Theard, at 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. Let's get together and speak about your situation and come up with a game plan to get your home sold as quickly as possible and for the most amount of money as possible, with the most minimal amount of investment of cash out of your pocket and the least amount of time. Now, there's going to be some investment, whether it's sweat equity or money, because it always takes a little bit of something to get the house ready for sale. And you're going to want to have time to get that done. A minimum, I think, of at least 4 weeks is a good time frame to get your house ready for sale and do all the necessary things to get it prepared. And we can go through all of that for your specific information, for your specific situation over the phone, or we can do a video conference. Whatever it works best for you, and even if you think it's better for us to meet in person. So call me again at 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. Okay, so now that you have an understanding of what a home inspector is going to do and all the systems that are going to be inspected, what do you do with the information? Okay, remember, the inspection report is not a to-do list. There may be normal wear and tear and cosmetic issues outlined in the inspection report. However, now is the time to make strategic decisions. These decisions should be made based on the type of market you are selling your home in. It will be different in a seller's market versus a buyer's market. In a strong seller's market, you may not need to perform any of the repairs at all. However, you may receive a high return on your investment by making repairs of material issues before the home goes on the market. For example, a non-functioning air conditioner in a home being sold during the summer could cost real material sales dollars. However, selling the home with an inspection report that has called out the non-functioning air conditioner and where you have gone ahead and made the repair to make it functional again can lead to a higher sales price. Buyers in today's market are paying a premium in price for homes that are move-in ready and free from repairs. The issue is the pandemic. People do not want lots of different contractors in and out of their house. If they can buy a house that's ready, move-in ready, where they just turn the key and bring their furniture in, there's no updates required, no repairs required. Oftentimes in today's market, you will find buyers prepared to pay a premium. And if there is competition for the home that's in this condition, then that $5,000 or $1,000 or $1,500 repair job, you could get back an additional sales price at triple the amount. So it's really important to consider these items before you put your house on the market for sale once you have that inspection report, because it could mean to more dollars for your home. Now, if you have specific questions about your scenario or your situation, call me 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. Let's talk about it. Let's get a plan in place. Let's get you prepared. Let's get the house ready to be sold at a premium. Let's make it as desirable as it possibly can be for everyone in the marketplace and create competition around it. With that being said, we're coming up on a hard break, and we'll see you when we get done with paying some bills back here on the Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Okay, that's it. We're coming up in another segment. Thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, y'all. It's a great day. It's a great day. It's a great day. It's a beautiful Wednesday in Northern California, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're gonna jump back into this program in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Hey, today's show is really important because if you're getting ready to sell your home, you want to know what's going on with your property before the buyers do. And how can you do that? You can do that by getting a pre-listing inspection. In today's show, we're talking about the strategy behind getting a pre-listing inspection, what to do with the information once you have it, and the different types of systems that will be inspected and the detail behind it. Now, if you're just joining the show and you've missed any of today's content, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and email address, and I would be happy to add you to my podcast distribution list, or I can just send you a link to the podcasts themselves. You can find me on Apple Podcasts or Podbean. That's the Real Estate Connection on Apple Podcasts under the business section or on Podbean. Okay, now let's get back into it. All right, so we were talking about what to do with the information and whether or not you should make the repairs or not make the repairs, depending on what type of market you're selling your house in. Now, in a strong seller's market, you may not have to do any of the repairs on the inspection report unless it's major structural damage or issues, right? But even so, if it is major structural damage to the foundation or things of that nature, that may be one of the reasons you're selling the home, or you may not have the money to deal with it, right? Or it could be a deal breaker for you putting the house on the market. So what we're really talking about are issues that are easily fixed for you, the seller, that may be a pain in the neck or seen to be something that would cause a buyer to try to push your price point down because there are issues related to systems. And one of those big issues, especially in the summertime, is the air conditioning system. Now, buyers in today's market are paying a premium in price for homes that are move-in ready and free from repairs. And the reason for that is COVID-19. A lot of people do not want contractors in and out of their house. They want to limit the amount of people that they don't know coming in and out of the property. So if your home is completely ready to go, super clean, well maintained, great paint, exterior looks fantastic, interiors move-in ready, and all the systems are functioning as they should be, whether they have a shorter useful life or a longer useful life, the fact remains that buyers can close escrow on the home, move in, and start using the property right away without having to worry about doing any repairs or maintenance immediately. And that's very important. So, you don't have to worry about differences in taste too much. If you have wallpaper on the wall that dates back to the 70s or early 60s, or really super taste specific coloring in your home, bright colors that don't appeal to the masses. This is also something that you may want to tackle as well to neutralize your home as much as possible. The more people that are interested in your property, the higher the sales price is going to be. Let me repeat that. The more people are interested in your property, the higher the sales price is going to be. So if you're turning off buyers by taste specific colors or accents in the home, now is the time to make the changes to neutralize the property so that you have 100% of the buyers looking at your home and entertaining it as a real option for purchase. If you're at all concerned about any of this and would like some advice from me, Stephen Theard, your radio realtor, give me a call right now, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. Let's talk about your specific situation and get a plan in place for you that will get you the most amount of money for your home, get the most amount of equity out of it, because equity is just paper. It's just a number on a piece of paper. And it doesn't mean anything until somebody writes you a check or gets a loan and gives you the money out of that loan where that equity is turned into dollars. It means nothing. So there is a process to turn the equity on paper into real cash. And you need most people are not experts in this field, and you're probably going to need some guidance and some advice. So give me a call, 408-472-0817. In the past, I used to say that people would never climb Mount Everest without a guide or a Sherpa, right? Because there's too many dangers along the way that you could fall into that could potentially lose your life. Now, real estate isn't that serious, where mistakes can be life threatening, but mistakes can be costly to your bank account or could open you up for lawsuit. So what a real estate professional does is guide you through the process so that you don't fall into any of those dangerous traps or pitfalls, so that when you finally do close escrow and you receive the proceeds from the sale of your home, you can walk away knowing that you're okay and that issues probably are not going to come up later on. And that's basically what you're paying for, the expertise to keep you out of trouble, along with marketing and strategy. So again, if you're looking for advice, give me a call, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. So if we were in a buyer's market, okay, if you were in a buyer's market, your strategy would be to absolutely repair everything. Because in a buyer's market, buyers have choices and your home has competition. Buyers generally in a buyer's market take longer. There's no rush. They don't feel like they have to compete with anyone, and there's always a new property hitting the market. So what you want to do as a seller is make your property rise to the cream of the crop, to the top of the competition. And the best way to do that is by presenting a very nice and easy to easy palatable. My words, good Lord, what's going on today, Steven? You can do this. My mind is going a lot faster than my mouth is moving. Anyway, like I was saying, what you want to do is you want to make your house desirable for as many people as possible, but you don't want someone who's a serious buyer to then come in and take a look at the property and find a lot of issues, because then they're going to walk away or they're going to really beat you up on price. So if they come in and take a look at the house because it looks really good on paper, and then they look at your home inspections and everything has been repaired, then you're going to put a hedge of protection around the price. So in a buyer's market, you absolutely want to do these repairs. Okay, so what if you decide to not do the repairs? In a seller's market, it probably isn't going to hurt you too much. um, and you're probably still going to get multiple offers. You probably are not going to get a premium, or you may find yourself in a renegotiation with the buyer in price. If it's something that's going to come out of pocket for them anywhere over $3,000, then there's a strong possibility that a buyer is going to ask for either some sort of credit or a renegotiation. So if you have this information up front, then you can plan for this. You can go ahead, if you decide not to make the repairs, to plan a contingency of action should the buyers discover issues that become a problem. You can either offer a credit for the repair work, or you can go out and get a bid for what the repair work will cost. And then if the buyer comes in and says, well, we want a credit for $5,000 for the roof, and you have a bid that says that the repair work for the roof is only $1,500, then you have a defense already ready in place to rebut any price reduction. However, remember in negotiating that the first person to speak loses. So if you decide not to do any of the repairs on the inspections, don't say anything. Just provide the reports and wait for offers to come in. And then if the buyer doesn't say anything, you don't say anything. If the buyer says something, then you respond. But don't make an offer. If they say there's an issue with the roof, then your realtor should at that point say, okay, there's an issue with the roof, and wait for the buyer to make some sort of negotiating deal. At that point, you can respond. Oftentimes, you may find that a buyer will ask for a lot less than what you are willing to offer. So, this will keep you from overpaying or over negotiating yourself out of a good deal. So, just remember that the first one to speak in a negotiation loses. And you don't always have to do the repair work. Wait. If you decide not to do it, wait to see what the response will be from the buyer. Now, if any of this is ringing true for you and you'd like to talk about your specific situation, give me a call right now at 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817 to Stephen Theard, your radio realtor. Let's talk about your specific situation. Come up with a game plan to get the most amount of money out of your home. Now, we're coming up on a hard break. When we get back, we're going to jump into a new topic. We're going to discuss what the current market looks like in Northern California. So stay with me, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, that does it for that piece of the segment. Um, we're going to jump into a market update. I had a lot more notes, but I feel like I talked that to death. All right, let's go on to the next segment and find out what's happening in today's real estate market. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Thank you for joining me today. Hey, if you've missed any part of today's show and how to set yourself up to be in a better negotiating position by having inspections done on your property before you list it for sale, send me an email right now at info@realestateconnectionradio.com. That's info at realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and email address, and I'll send you a link to my podcast. Or I will add you to my podcast distribution list. You can find the Real Estate Connection on Apple Podcasts, the Real Estate Connection, and on Podbean, the Real Estate Connection. All right. Sorry for the digging in the background. I'm recording. I'm actually doing this show, and for some reason my system is turned up, and I need to turn it down. So I'm going to do that right now. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to continue on into this next segment, which is a quick market update. All right. So, what's going on in the Northern California real estate market and how does it look? All right. So, we're going to look at new homes listed for sale as of September, the week of September 26th, 2020, and how it compares to 2019 of last year. Well, right now we are way up compared to where we were last year. About this same time last year, there were about 800 new listings in the three counties in Northern California, where right now we're at 1,000. So people are still putting their homes in the market, and we still see some consistent velocity in the marketplace for real estate. And so we're going to take a look now not only at new listings, but closed transactions, because that's really important. That gives us an idea as to whether or not homes are selling as they come on the market. So for this week on September 26th, 2020, for the week of September 26th, 2020, as compared to the same time last year in 2019, we are up above 700, almost 800 homes sold as compared to 2019, where we were just below 600. So what that's telling me is houses are coming on the market and they're selling. Houses are coming on the market and they're selling. Normally, this time of year, we'd see a slowdown in the market, but because of COVID-19 and the businesses that are mostly shut down and they're still remote working and remote learning, people are not moving around as much, and therefore the buyers that would normally not be in the market are still in the market right now, which means homes are selling. Additionally, interest rates still remain at a historic low. They're hovering around 3%, which is adding more buyers to the market than before because the cost of to borrow money is a lot lower. Additionally, on top of that, people don't have to live close to where they work anymore. Since working remotely has become the norm these days, you can move further out from the city centers and out to the outskirts of town where it costs less to buy a house. And people are taking advantage of that and buying homes out in the suburbs. So if you have a house in the burbs and you're looking to cash out in the equity, now is the time to take advantage of the marketplace. As far as contingent sales are concerned, or houses that are being sold where there's a contingency for a house that has to sell in order to close escrow, we have dropped down a little bit. However, for sales that are pending without a contingency, those continue to skyrocket. And I think what's going on is that sellers that are selling are more inclined to take an offer that doesn't have a house attached to it that has to get sold, which is a smart move from any seller. All right, with that being said, the real estate market is on fire and it is moving quickly. So take advantage of it while you can. If that's you, give me a call at 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. With that, remember to be kind to one another, for it says in Matthew 5:7, blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. And with that, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the United States of America. And we'll see you next week on another episode of The Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Take care and bye-bye. Okay, that's it, folks. That's all she wrote. Thank you for joining me today. Woo! Whew, it's getting hot in here. All right, thanks for joining me. Hey, if you have any friends or family, wait a minute. Let's go back. I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. If you have any friends or family that are looking to buy or sell in the near future, my phone number is 408 472 0817. Again, 408 472 0817. I'd be happy to help them out. I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. And with that, thanks for joining me. Again, God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Be safe. And that's it for another episode of The Real Estate Connection with your radio realtor, Stephen Theard. Take care, and we will see